Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. In this section, we'll look at the log records. It seems there's a profile we didn't cover in the previous section. If we have a profile file that we didn't get to, we'll cover it in the later part. We'll show you a crash log later in the session, that's fine. Then here, in the output number box, there are many places where we can output logs. And this is how to use this log macro. First, it's the log level, and we usually use LogTemp. But sometimes we need to customize the log level, so we can create our own log category. As for warning, it's a display level. That means it may have colors or different levels. Obviously, logs are divided into low levels, medium and high level logs, right? And the more detailed the log is, the more it becomes redundant. But you can adjust it according to your needs. The third point is we fill it in with this C style string, and this is the log level. It is generally divided into these levels. Fatal. If you use this, it will crash. This will crash. We generally only use up to error. And then next is warning. Then display and log recording. It's roughly like this. Then our console command. We can adjust our logs through console commands. Sometimes the default level might be too high. We can't see more detailed logs, or when we are developing plugins. We can define different levels. Then when we release this plugin, we can use the normal log level, but during development or testing and debugging, we use a more detailed log level. Generally speaking, how to display this type of number? If it's FString, remember to add the signal. For Boolean, you need to use a ternary operator to convert it. For integer types, you can add a percent sign. For floating point numbers, you can add %f. For other types, just convert them to string type. These can also be used in combination, but you must be careful that this parameter must match the preceding 3 placeholders. If you have too many or too few, it will result in garbled text, or sometimes there might be some crashes. These issues. Next, it demonstrates how to define this log level. Actually, it's very similar to the tech we learned in the previous lesson or chapter. You can see it also has this external and the implemented log level. Okay, there are a few parameters here. The first one is your log name. We usually like to start it with low. The second one is this verbal visible level, and generally we won't change this later. We'll just keep it as 00. Actually, there are some other details. We'll only show this much, and this is where it is actually defined and implemented. After defining it, you include its header file. When including it during extra lore, you can print out this log. Then after UEC 5.2, it introduced this new structured log. With this structured log, you should not mix usage, and you also need to include this strike logo for this cool declaration. And you can only use this after 5.2, then when using it. Actually, its advantage is like our txt. You can use a similar placeholder method to follow the tone, but you can also do this. What is this called? Let me think. You can carry the value along with the tone at the end. You can also use some additional fields to do. Then, one thing to note is that this area is ultimately the debug information on this screen. Okay, actually, this log document is relatively simple in its explanation. It's basically sufficient for our use. Then we will verify and use it for everyone. Next, to expand a bit, the log can actually also have its log level configured through the ini method. At the same time, this log can be used if it's in an asynchronous thread. We can use certain convenient functions or red text, printing it in the main thread. It's also not a problem, and it also has this static log level. Okay, so now in the next lesson, we will take a look at how to actually perform such an operation with logs.